At my high school graduation, the silence from my family was deafening. My mother didn't clap, my brother didn't rise, and my father, he walked out during my speech to take a call. Not because I failed, but because they believed I cheated. According to them, a girl like me could never earn valedictorian honestly. Not the daughter who got expelled for fighting, who chose bruises and boot camps over books and ballet recitals. They always said I was the disappointment, the black sheep next to my golden brothers, the lawyer and the engineer. Before the ceremony, my mother whispered, "Don't embarrass us today." I gripped those words tighter than my diploma as I stepped off the stage only to hear a thunderous roar above. A black military chopper descended onto the field. A man in uniform dropped down, walked through the stunned crowd, and saluted me. "Commander Harper," he said, "your mission awaits." The town froze. My mother went pale. My father didn't breathe. I climbed aboard that chopper without looking back. But that moment wasn't victory. It was the beginning of a harder fight, the kind you survive only if you've already been broken and learned to rise anyway. I'm Abigail Harper, and this is the story they never thought I'd live to tell. Before I go deeper, say hi in the comments or let me know where you're watching from. If this story connects with you even a little, follow or subscribe. It means more than you know. Now let's rewind. A socket wrench slipped in my hand, slicing my thumb. I barely noticed. Grease and pain were just part of life in Hank's auto shop. "Hey, Miss Navy," some guy chuckled from across the bay. "Guess torque specs ain't Navy issue, huh?" That nickname wasn't friendly. Not here in Willow Creek. I'd been discharged from the Naval Academy a decade ago dishonorably. I'd broken a superior's jaw for assaulting a fellow cadet. I stood by it then, I stand by it now. The Navy didn't. My family didn't. I lived above the shop, alone. My hometown treated me like a ghost they wished stayed dead. Today was Nathan's graduation. The golden child, the family's clean slate. I wasn't invited. I went anyway, hiding in the top bleachers, wrapped in a jacket no one remembered. Then it happened. That same chopper back again, descending like a scene from a movie. It landed. Beside the podium, a man stepped out, black suit pressed, voice sharp. "Commander Abigail Harper, SEAL designation. Your mission starts now." The crowd gasped. My mother dropped Nathan's roses. My brother stared at me like I was a stranger. Behind the bleachers, my mom hissed, "What stunt is this? You had to ruin this for Nathan too." I pulled free of her grip. "You never even asked what happened to me." Her face hardened. "Don't play the victim. Then read." My old commander nodded. It was time. I climbed aboard the chopper again, but this time something had changed. I wasn't just a shadow anymore. I was stepping into something bigger. Across from me, Reed opened a black duffel. Inside my old SEAL cap, perfectly folded. "We've got a situation," he said. A mobile EMP device had been stolen. Portable, lethal, undetectable. Surveillance. Placed it right here in Willow Creek, hidden in a container owned by Caldwell Shipping. My blood ran cold. The Caldwell family had been part of our town forever. Hannah Caldwell's family sent casseroles after Dad's death, hosted the church gala. But something deeper was rotting under their smiles. "I left this life behind," I whispered. "No," Reed said. "You left the uniform, not the fight." Then I saw him, a photo of Kyle, my last teammate, the one I couldn't save. The man who died because I hesitated. This network, Reed said, may be the same one that got Kyle killed. I agreed, but no one could know, not Nathan, not Mom, not anyone. I wasn't dragging war to their doorstep. Not again. Later that night, Nathan texted, "Are you really a SEAL? Mom says you made it up." I didn't answer. There's a certain loneliness to living two lives. I was walking back into both at 2:13 a.m., dressed in black. I crept back into the ghost of my past. Willow Creek's abandoned docks. The container was there, sealed, shielded, not tractor parts, no way. I took photos, uploading them to Reed. Then I heard a footstep, human, deliberate. I melted into the shadows and vanished by sunrise. I was pretending to be normal again. But Willow Creek senses secrets. At the flower shop, my mom confronted me. "Margaret Caldwell saw you snooping around. You just can't help yourself, can you?" Nathan chimed in too. "You're still just ... you." I left before my rage spilled into tears. But that night, a plain envelope waited in my room. Inside, a photo of me at the docks taken from a hidden angle. No cameras should have been there. On the back, a warning: walk away. Commander, or your family will hurt worse than you ever did. That threat changed everything. I returned to my childhood home, broke into the basement, opened Dad's old trunk. Beneath folded flags and medals was a letter addressed to me. In it, Dad detailed strange happenings around the port. Cargo that didn't match, manifests, bribes from George Caldwell, missing photos. Then, the car crash. "If you're reading this," he wrote, "it means you found what I couldn't. Finish it, but don't do it alone." His words lit something inside me I thought I'd buried. At the town library, I combed through ancient records, found Caldwell Shipping, linked to a shell company in Istanbul flagged for terror financing, and shipping routes matching former SEAL ops. This wasn't local, it was national. At the Founders Fair, I confronted Hannah Caldwell, publicly. Quietly, "You know what's in that container?" I said. She laughed, dismissive, but her eyes, terrified. Nathan dragged me aside, furious. "What are you doing to Mom?" I gave him Dad's letter. After reading it, he shoved it back. "You're just making excuses, still trying to prove you're not the screw-up." He walked away, and I stood alone in the middle of a crowd. But I wasn't turning back. I sent everything to Reed: photos, maps, evidence. Got a voice message: "We've flagged Caldwell before, but no one's gotten this close. No warrant, no case number. Help." So I baited the hook. Posted on a veterans forum rumors of stolen tech in Willow Creek. Anyone seen Caldwell Shipping move military-grade equipment? 3 days later, the warehouse burned. A perfect cleanup. Then came Sheriff Bradley. "We found your prints. Care to explain?" Before I could answer, Reed walked in, ID in hand. At the police station, Reed stepped in like thunder. "She's operating under federal orders," he said, sharp as a blade. "Your question should be who torched the warehouse, not who caught them in the act." Sheriff Bradley looked stunned. "She's not even active military." "She's always been active," Reed replied coldly. But I saw it in Bradley's eyes: doubt. And in a town like Willow Creek, doubt turns into betrayal real fast. Outside, I found a scrap of paper in my coat. I hadn't put it there. I shoved it deep into my boot and headed to Mom's. She didn't say a word when she opened the door, just stepped aside. "You're bringing trouble home again," she muttered. I told her about Dad's letter, about Caldwell and the port that stopped her cold. She sat down slowly. "Your father tried to warn people. No one listened. He told me not to tell you. He was scared you'd end up like him." Her voice cracked. "He knew the truth was bigger than him. He just didn't want it to swallow you, too." We didn't hug. We just sat there, side by side, in shared fear. That was enough for now. That night, back at my place, a USB sat on my desk. No note, no break-in, just waiting. I plugged it into a secure laptop. Black and white footage rolled in. Hannah Caldwell, handing a steel case to a man with a familiar limp and a face from nightmares. Victor Cain. I thought he died years ago in Afghanistan. He should have been rotting in a prison or a grave. Confirmed Cain's off-grid 3 years. If he's here, this isn't one shipment. It's something bigger. I already knew the EMP wasn't the mission. It was just the spark. A test to see if a country could be set on fire from the inside out. I launched a drone from the hills behind Hannah's estate. It tracked her to the old chapel abandoned since Dad's funeral. That place used to mean something. Now it was a nest. I slipped inside at 2:14 a.m., planted a directional mic under a pew, and left unseen. The next night, I retrieved it. Crystal clear audio. Hannah. Last shipments scheduled for the River Festival. No eyes, no checks. Cain. EMP hits during the fireworks. Grid crashes. We vanish. My heart sank. Everyone in town would be there. My mom, Nathan, checked ATM footage from a nearby camera, and there he was. Someone else had been at the chapel. Hoodie, ducked head. But I knew the walk. Nathan, my own brother. He was holding the same case Hannah gave Cain, back home. He was at the kitchen table, like it was just another morning. "Why were you at the church?" I asked, showing the still frame. He turned ghost white. "I didn't know," he stammered. "She offered me a delivery gig. No questions. We needed money. I didn't know it was this." I asked him what he believed now. He didn't answer. "You don't trust anyone," he said. "You push everyone out, then act surprised when no one stays." Then he left. That night, Reed called. EMP is hidden on the Caldwell yacht. Festival crowd, press, timing, it's the perfect hit. I didn't even respond. I was already staring across the water at that monstrous floating stage. Then Hank's shop exploded. Fire tore through the place. My truck was burned. On the hood, scorched into the metal with a knife. "Family is a weakness, Commander." Cain's calling card. Classic mercenary play. When they can't break you, they break your roots. I knew the tactic. I'd seen it used on civilians, on diplomats. Now it was here. In my hometown, I sat Mom down, told her everything, begged her to leave. "I'm not running," she said. "If your father died fighting this, I won't dishonor that." I stared. "Do you believe me now?" She looked at me like it was the first time she ever truly saw me. "I don't know," she said softly, "but I want to." That was enough. "Sarah Vega," she answered with 3 words. "How bad is it?" EMP festival. Local backups compromised. "I'll be there in 6. She rolled in that night with enough gear to start a war and end one cleanly. Jammer units, disruptors, smoke grenades. Our plan was surgical. Get aboard as a VTEX, disable the core, neutralize Cain. Quiet, no panic, no casualties. Then, Nathan knocked on my door. He looked broken. I overheard Hannah. They're using the river to boost the EMP. I didn't know, Abby. I didn't know. He handed me an old photo, Dad shaking hands with George Caldwell, a shipping container behind them, circled in red. Mom had this hidden, Nathan whispered. He knew. Festival day arrived. Laughter, music, corn dogs. No one suspected a thing. Sarah and I blended in as tech crew. We boarded the yacht. In the belly of the boat, the container sat under fake medical labeling. Inside, the EMP core, live, armed. Then Cain appeared. He raised his weapon. I dove behind crates. Didn't expect to see you again, he called. They said you froze last time. From behind, Sarah drew his fire, tossed me the disruptor. I ran, jammed it into the core. Nothing. The screen blinked. Secondary system active. 2 minutes, of course. Redundancy. Hannah stepped into view.com as royalty. Your father destroyed everything, she said. He ruined our legacy. Now, I return the favor. She activated the failsafe. A second countdown began. Sarah engaged. Cain, brutal, loud. I sprinted topside, tore off my headset, and leaped into the river. I swam beneath the hull, fingers numb, pried open the underwater control hatch. A voice called out, Abby, Nathan, on the dock. He threw me something, my old wrench from the shop. I caught it midair and forced the seal open, jammed the disruptor into the core. The countdown froze at 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 7 seconds. The town's lights flickered but held. Cain lay unconscious. Sarah was bleeding but smiling. Hannah had vanished, escaping on a jet ski into the night. Her voice crackled over the yacht. Radio, Willow, was just the beginning. I stood on deck, soaked, shivering, staring at the shoreline. Nathan stood there, hands still raised, our eyes locked, and I realized family isn't always about blood. Sometimes it's about what you choose to protect. The next morning, Willow Creek looked the same, but felt different. The yacht was seized. Caldwell Shipping was frozen. Hannah was still missing, but the town was awake now. No one ignored me on the street anymore. Mom founded a nonprofit in Dad's name to support veterans and expose infrastructure threats. She even spoke publicly for the first time in decades. Nathan enrolled at a tech school. I want to know how systems work, he told me. I knew what he meant, so no one ever used him again. And then the final message came. A dead inbox lit up. A satellite map, 7 ports, marked in red. This wasn't over. I met Reed and Sarah at the airfield. I wore my uniform not because I had to, because I chose to. Dad's ring gleamed on my finger, not a burden, a badge of honor. As the helicopter lifted off, I found a folded note in my jacket pocket. Nathan's handwriting. No matter where you go, I'm still your little brother. I pressed it to my chest, right over the seal emblem, right where it belonged. I am not the failure they said I was. I am Commander Abigail Harper, and my mission has only just begun.